day behind you, good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk at the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk at the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk at the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk at the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to Monday, June. Where the fuck did April and May go? 2020. I am the host, Travis Sivart. My vices tonight are a very nice La Gloriana Cubana, Series R, Black, some Henry, somebody other, bourbon, and Guinness. So I guess we'll just go kind of clockwise around. Kevin.
Bonsoir, mes amis. I'm Kev. I'm the show's token minority from the UK. This evening I am drinking strong black coffee, smoking hand-rolled drum tobacco, and in a minute I will probably have a bottle of ironic Corona.
Hi, Corona.
Above Kevin and all of us, Andrea.
Oh, hi. Andrea Chat. My vices are, well, knitting, of course, and Orange Crush.
And then the white cream in the center of the Tavern cookie, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I am drinking my usual rum and Dr. Pepper.
Excellent. Then the dark chocolate love of all of our lives, and yours too, now that you've seen him or heard him, Ed.
Hey folks, I'm drinking, it's a Pinot Noir, I don't know. And chasing it down with Lindor chocolate. Good.
Nice, good choice. And saving the best for last, at least the most moralistic and least foul-mouthed of us, Elizabeth.
Fuck yeah. All right, hey everyone. Elizabeth, Pickle Lady here. Tonight my vices are coffee and water and a little bit of Gatorade. And who knows what will be happening in the second hour. Quick shout out, viewers. If you try to catch my stream this week at twitch.tv/Pickle Lady, you'll notice we are doing an enormous technical up.
Now, I'm going to interrupt real quick, or perhaps not. I can't tell right now. To translate a little bit of what Elizabeth said, is she's having some technical difficulties. If the pantomime and the gurgle and the zipping faster than slower wasn't indication of. But we love her so much, we're keeping her here, and even if the whole show is us translating her garbled mess, I mean, more than normal.
That could be fun.
We're just going to MST.
You'll never believe what Elizabeth just said now.
We're going to Mystery Science Theater the fuck out of Elizabeth tonight.
Now, an interpretive dance.
So anyhow,
I'll take it.
yeah, the topic for tonight, since we've done our intros, is it's a throwaway show with drinks. So there we go.
Carefully planned out in all its technical glory.
Oh, I've got topics. Here, watch this. Hey, how about those riots, guys?
I'll have another.
Did anyone else's head just go feminism show very briefly? And drop that hot potato.
Trump tear gassed a bunch of people while getting his photo taken on the other side of the fence. So, you know, that happened.
Donald Trump tear gas people. Really?
Yeah.
That was my first thought. I wouldn't trust him to
people.
know which end to pull the pin from.
Does that mean he let one go?
There's also now a curfew apparently.
Andrea, you're a gas.
So it's gonna get interesting here tonight.
Chris, how well can you hear all of us?
Not well enough, apparently.
Because yeah, you were like talking as like 3 other people were talking, and then it like picked up in the middle of what you were saying. This is gonna be a fun show. By the way, Kennedy has popped in. Hello, Kennedy. Once again, please let me
Hey,
know if I can
Kennedy.
teach you how to capitalize your words so you don't look like Jose Fur Kennedy. I'll pass it to you in a second there, Kev. But Kennedy says things Elizabeth said for 200, Alex. And Toey says the clown show is in full force in downtown RVA. That's Richmond, Virginia, for anybody who's not local. They're getting gassed already. Really? No, for anybody that doesn't know, the riots are real. And hey, Ed. Hey, Ed, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, there's been riots across the U.S., but also here, just a few miles away from where I live and work, and very rarely play. So this is all related to George Floyd, who is a black man who was killed with what's the word when you're accused but it's not proven yet?
Alleged.
Alleged police brutality, caught on video. So yeah, people have done the thing that Ed and I and a few of the others have discussed at length. You know, when something horrible or great happens, you burn down your fucking neighborhood.
Makes sense to me.
So yeah, people have lit. Oh, with COVID, the buses are free. Let's knock one over and, you know, set it on fire. Oh, grandma might be having a heart attack or a break-in, but let's burn that cop car.
I'd just like to say, as a Brit, I find all of this shocking and reprehensible. Northern Ireland.
So anyhow, I didn't necessarily want to make this a topic. It's more of a tongue-in-cheek rolling our eyes at, God damn, our species is stupid. Unless if somebody really just has the urge to talk politics, and that's what this is at this point.
Nope.
Ed, Elizabeth? No?
I'll
Mark
go with the
Twain,
flow.
when it
Whatever.
came to psychology of the mass, a lot of people, he said the majority is always right. That was in Huck Finn.
Ed, it's your turn to translate that.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to read Mark Twain because it has that word in it.
Cracker?
Oh my
Huckleberry.
Kevin, Chris, do you guys have any urge to talk about this topic, or can we just... all move on?
No, let's be happy.
Yeah, good.
At a later date, maybe. I'm going to use my usual get out card, which is that I'm a couple of days behind accurate news and I haven't enough time to read up on it. So, as I always do, unless I've had a chance to read up properly on anything to do with American politics, I'm taking the fifth.
You're taking a shit? What?
Yeah. Right now, that's why I'm only showing the top half of my body on the screen.
And the show has
Speaking
turned...
of taking a Speaking of taking a shit, can I segue neatly into something there? I'd like to shout out a friend of mine who's watching tonight, who's one of my favourite pieces of shit in the entire world. So a big hello to my friend Amy, sometimes known to other people as the streamer Vivid Puppet, who is watching tonight. Hi, Amy. Fuck you.
Amy, good to see you again. It's good to be seen by you. You know,
Well, there you go. Just 5 minutes into the show, she's been serenaded by a black man. See, I told you the show delivers.
and she's the one that's ever so infamous, speaking of shit, for pictures on toilets.
No, that's
No?
Sarah.
Oh, I'm
You're
sorry.
thinking of Amy is. I'll tell you, remind you now with the memory exactly who Amy is. She's the one who, for quite a while, had a profile picture of her bumping into us in the street when you came to visit me here.
And attacking us with British kindness.
Yeah.
Or kind of British.
Is
One
that
of
what?
the two.
Is that what she called it? Did you check your American wallet afterwards?
You know, it was worth seeing that little tidbit when she flashed it. Good to see you.
Admire your eyesight. It's pretty good.
That's a stripper name. Little tidbit.
Hope you're taking notes, Amy.
And the socks. Yeah, you have only like 3 sock pictures on the sock Instagram, and then it just went away.
Yeah, I know. I've nagged her about that. That was fun, or it could have been a lot of fun. But
Okay, I see what's happening here. Okay. Apparently the fan on my computer has been unplugged somewhere, and I need to plug it back in. Because my computer is now kicking into overdrive. It will be a night of technical issues.
yeah,
Plug it in.
it's fine. We're quite happy to pause and wait for you. We can't afford to lose any fans at this point.
So,
We have
You have
fans.
fans?
Yeah, you know, well,
On
that's
each
my
of our
loose
computers.
description for the people who literally have nothing better to do with their lives and to keep turning up and listening to us every week. And I love every single one of them.
Well,
Oh,
thank
that's
you
why there's
very
few of
much.
That's all right.
No way to talk about your co-host.
No, I said people who turn up to listen to us.
That's no way to talk about Amy.
Say what?
I love Chris's computer because it makes his eyes glow.
Just like you to know, by the way, that after the joy of last week's, after the joy of last week's backgrounds, I downloaded a whole shit ton of really pretty pictures of the Isle of Wight that people have posted from the last week here, ready to use as rolling backgrounds this evening. So yeah, thanks for switching to Discord.
You're welcome.
It is pretty out there.
Oh, it's beautiful here. Yeah.
Is it fixed?
I don't know. I don't hear the fan going. So I guess not. It's the thing underneath the computer. You know, that fan thing.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
So, anybody do anything interesting this week?
Uh-uh.
This week just begun.
Oh yeah, because it is Monday.
And I'm still in lockdown, theoretically. They've eased some of the restrictions, but I'm still not doing shit.
Let's see. I don't think I mentioned it
Shot.
last
Oh,
week,
sucker.
but I'm getting furloughed July 1st, so that's fun.
Hmm.
For 6 months. That's
Oh.
extra fun. But my 3D printer should show up tomorrow after the long, long adventures of my 3D printer.
Are you
Yay.
getting like a little tabletop one or a proper full decent sized one? Or?
It's a tabletop one. It's about they say it's like 135 centimeters cubed.
Oh, okay. It's pretty decent size still, then. Yeah.
So for those of us not metric, like 9 inches cubed, 10 inches cubed. So
Oh,
Sounds
yeah,
more
I
impressive in
understand.
centimeters, doesn't it, ladies?
As a Brit, I work in both at seemingly random drop of hat.
So, you know, I've been collecting fun patterns and things to print, such as I found a lovely Mandalorian nativity scene. So it's the bounty hunter as Joseph and the baby Jesus, and a female stormtrooper only wearing a helmet as Mary. There's some porgs as
So
the 3
she's
wise men. and
totally
then there's
naked?
I mean, maybe I
That's
don't.
okay.
Not yet, but give him 5 minutes to work out the STL file.
No, it looks like she's dressed. Sadly.
Oh, that's very disappointing. So we will give you that 5 minutes to work
But
out.
everyone's getting, you know, a baby Mandalorian nativity.
Yeah,
scene.
my friend Tony's got one, and he made a miniature for each of us for our isolation D&D campaign that we've been doing over Skype, and mailed them to everyone. So now when we game, we each have our little miniature
can we see yours?
representation of our character. Maybe later on when I go and grab it. Yeah, it's in the other room.
Why would you not have that all the time?
Yeah.
Because I've got it in there where I sit when I play.
Why do you play in there, but you were on the show with us in here?
because this time of the night, stroke stupid o'clock in the morning, my wife is asleep in bed and I can sit in the lounge and do whatever the fuck I like. Whereas when I'm playing D&D with the guys online, she doesn't want to listen to the activities of my paladin while she's trying to watch Netflix, so I fuck off into the kitchen.
So you play D&D
I found
at
some
normal
really
hours?
cool non-Euclidean dice that I'm super excited.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be intriguing. That's something I never thought about. I might have to have a word with Tony, actually. Make your own dice. Fuck yeah.
Here, I will drop the link in Discord
Ah, outstanding. Thank you very much.
and see. The
If you
cool-
want, I'll have a. You've probably got sources ready, but if you want sources for STL files for printable stuff, Chris, let me know, and I'll give my mate Tony, who prints a shit ton of stuff. He's a member of a few groups. I'm sure he can hook you up with links to like data banks of files and stuff. So.
Yeah, I've been pulling most of the things off of Thingiverse, which is partnered with the Maker
He's made,
bot.
yeah. I mean, he's made some surprisingly cool stuff with it. You know, like Viking trophies for the hood ornaments for people's cars. I see a bonnet ornament then, but bearing in mind you're an American audience. Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff. He made an orc doorbell for someone. Just got an ordinary, like a little rectangular push button doorbell, and then mounted it into the tip of the nose of an orc face that he printed. So you push the orc's nose to ring my friend's front doorbell now, which is quite cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he's not. I know there are guys out there who write their own files and stuff who've got that artistic bent to it. He's not quite at that level. He needs someone to provide him with a file, and then he'll just go off and merrily print stuff himself. But yeah, it's surprising what you can do with them, and how
I need
easy it is to do them now.
I need to figure out if the program I use for work, for drafting and that sort of thing, can export file type printer will under.
Ah, so you could make scale models of sets. That's awesome.
Yes,
Wow.
Travis?
Okay, if I may. Kennedy, in the upper right-hand corner, go to the little icon. That's your channel, if you will. When you click on that, it drops a list. Towards the bottom of that list is the word Settings. Click on Settings. And then just scroll down that page that comes up to you see where it says Display Name. And underneath that, it'll say Customize Capitalization for your username. Okay, carry on, guys.
Thanks.
We had a question in chat. I
No, I
answered
just
it.
thought it was a really. Yeah, no, it's fine. Where's your bell?
It's over there, but you guys won't hear it. This has been proven, and with the technical issues, I think it would only work if I took a plane over to England,
That's what I think.
tied it to Fred.
You can ring my bell, ring my bell.
She's singing like a mermaid. Hear the gargle?
Ring my bell.
I was going to say that sounded like someone had that was re-recorded by Cher at that moment.
That was our musical interlude.
Life after love.
Hey, the doe in our yard had a baby last week. And now we have a little fawn running around the yard.
Yay.
Yes. Almost no neck and little wobbly legs.
Here's one of those moments where a word has different perceptions in our countries. Isn't it? You say yard in America, and it's quite natural that you would have like a deer and a fawn and a whole bunch of other shit in a yard. You say yard to a British person, or more commonly, your back garden, as it's referred to. And you think about like a 6 foot square of concrete patio and enough lawn to barely stretch out on diagonally,
Okay,
It's a
when we
couple
think
of
of a-
Canadians.
When we think of a garden, we
Sorry,
think of some
just-
place where you're planting edible items.
When I was on honeymoon, I was chatting to 2 Canadians who were in the hot tub at the hotel. And he asked where we were from, so I told him, and he said, "Oh, how big is the island that you live on?" So I said to him, "It's a rough diamond shape as you look at it on a map. North to south, it's about 12.5 miles, and east to west is 24." And he sniggered, and I said, I know it's not very big. And he's like, no, I was just thinking that's about half the size of my neighbour's back garden.
Wow.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Here's his neighbor.
It still managed to, we nearly, I think it's just over 250,000, the population on the island now, and I still only kill about 3 people a week. So.
Oh, cool.
Got him.
That's why you're British instead of American.
Yeah, that's why it's only 3. It takes a lot longer to beat them to death with your fists. But it's ultimately a lot more satisfying.
Huh.
I'm growing a garden.
Yes, you
I
are.
am.
You are.
I have tomatoes that are about to bloom and a bunch of beans and sage and lettuce. It's an actual garden.
And we're going to make a honeymooner salad. Lettuce alone with no dressing.
So,
What do you get if you throw an
Beans, too?
epileptic into a lettuce patch?
What?
Seizure salad.
Ah!
mm.
Huh.
What, Elizabeth?
Aren't you doing beans too, as well?
I have a lot of bean plants, and they're growing up the string.
How exciting!
It may amuse you to know as well that you would definitely use the phrase growing beans in this country, as beans is the collective colloquial noun for ecstasy tablets. All right,
Oh,
mate,
nice.
got any beans? Yeah, so you would definitely be growing beans and not doing beans.
Yeah. That you know
I'm
of.
growing.
You've learned something tonight now.
Yes.
Every show's an educational moment.
Travis disappeared.
Again.
You start y'all shit.
I'm growing weeds.
Yeah, you
I like the fact that you've expanded to more than one strain.
Nothing but harvesting. Harvesting.
It's a dirty job.
It's a dirty job. Can you imagine?
You guys seen the famous image of the farm over here that had the hidden weed crop in the middle?
No.
They took a photograph with a police spotter plane, and you can see at one edge of the field the police making their way through the crop with the trail behind them towards the center, because someone had flown a plane over this field. And the guy's grown all of this wheat, and then in the middle of the field, there's just this perfect diamond hidden in the middle of the crop, where he's just got this enormous, bountiful forest of weed growing away, completely concealed from all 4 sides by
Good night,
the
John.
corn.
How do you get such good rows like that?
Everybody say goodnight to John.
It's like
Good night,
good night, John.
Good night, John.
It's like what would happen if you let Hollywood stoners make a crop circle. Make a circle, man. Then we could grow weed in it.
It'll be more potent that way.
And Kennedy asked, did anyone watch
Chronic
it?
circle.
And Kennedy
Kid you
asked,
not, man. This shit was grown on ley lines. Travis,
yes, sir,
did you say something then?
3 times. I figure somebody else will read
Okay.
it in a minute. I'll finish doing what I'm doing.
I can't be on Twitch or else my stream cuts off.
I know.
Kennedy wants to know, did anybody watch SpaceX?
The what?
Sorry, anybody watch what?
Launch.
The SpaceX launch.
Oh no.
Not the initial part of it. I caught the live stream after they'd already taken off and watched for a bit. Yeah.
Same here.
I agree with what a lot of the chatter on social media was saying the following day. That was a cool ass looking cockpit. Anyone else think that? Yeah, someone did the 3-stage meme, like the picture combination thing I saw on Facebook today, where it's like the original shuttle launch and then something halfway, and then that, and it's just like like the evolution of watching Star Trek. Every series that comes out's got a much cooler looking set of consoles.
The last spaceship launch I watched was the Challenger. That was very traumatic. I have not watched anymore.
It's possibly a good thing. You may be like one of those reverse good luck charms.
We were in class.
Any space launch from now on.
Well, we were in class, science class, and that was like the big thing. We were going to watch this.
I don't think I watched it live, but I remember the sort of media furor around it at the time, and then all the sort of horror after, and then the horrendous jokes.
Kennedy also says yes, the suits were cool. That's what I noticed. The suits were just super cool compared to the big bulky things that we're seeing.
I wouldn't have been born for another 7 months. Challenger exploded, so.
Baby.
Wow.
Much better. Take
Ed,
those
you've been
pants
gone
off.
for like 3 weeks. How you been? I said you've been gone like 3 weeks. How you been?
Well, after the last show that I was on, I had another bear
You had another what?
encounter.
Oh. Tell us about that.
The show ended, and I stepped out on the patio to have a smoke. Stepped right up, fired it up, had a puff, looked over 4 feet away from me. There was a huge black bear.
What
He was standing there looking at me. I was standing there looking at him. I took another puff. I said, "We just gonna stand here looking at each other?" And that's pretty much what we did while I smoked my cigarette.
No, when you say standing, on 2 feet or 4?
Fours.
Because like 2 feet would be like Jay and Silent Bob hanging out. the new updated version.
Ed, when you say that there was an enormous black bear, was it smoking a cigarette, and are you missing any mirrors?
No. He was just standing there looking, and, I smoked, and he kind of stood there and moved his head around and looked up at me and moved his head around. I think the smoke got too much for him. He finally wandered away.
So is that mutual agreement? You're not going to fuck with me? Then I'm not going to fuck with you. We're good.
I'd like to think so.
Sounds good.
Why?
You don't ever get that primal level of challenge in the UK. I might step outside my back door and kick a mildly disgruntled hedgehog or come across an irritated squirrel.
Yeah, but you have Fred.
Yeah, this is true. I have a house cat that resembles 16 Tasmanian devils armed with titanium claws.
And Kennedy, no, not this time. I have been known to do that, but not this time.
Indeed.
What have you been known to do? I can't read the chat.
Run through the woods with a bear behind.
There's photos I've seen.
My guess would have been, did you go bear as well? Yeah.
So that was after the last show. Anything else since between now and then? What were you doing? Were you working the whole time?
Work has been grueling the last.
Everybody's sound keeps cutting out on me.
Yeah. It's doing
Yeah.
that.
I hear you fine. It must be the new microphone that you.
I know, it's awesome.
She talked about it. She just wanted to talk to you about it.
I told everybody else.
Go to hell.
Good times. Okay, so do I need to throw a topic down or
Throw it down. Throw the gauntlet down, big boy.
the gauntlet? Has anybody ever actually worn a gauntlet?
I don't know. This is one of those moments where it depends how anal you're being over the description of a gauntlet. Shouldn't it be like interlocking plate mail kind of thing? I've worn what they call in this country, I don't know if Americans use the same phrase, a butcher's gauntlet, like a stainless steel mesh glove.
Right.
So that when you're using a cleaver or something to dissect at the bone junctions, you don't skid off and accidentally take your own fucking hand off at the wrist. So I've worn something like that, but not an armoured gauntlet like a suit of armour, no. Or a leather one for falconry, if that counts.
Andrea?
Well, I know Travis has had to wear them when he has to pick up my cat.
She's not kidding.
He does.
No, I'm very serious. He'll have his fencing mask and gloves and outfit because she'll kill you.
Yeah, it's one of those
Fred's
things.
an absolute softie with me. I can pick him up, flip him upside down, anything. But he's not fucking stupid. If I come anywhere near him bearing anything that looks like a collar. I walked into the kitchen the other day idly playing on an elastic band and he almost broke the kitchen window the speed he left the room. So.
Every time Andrea asks if I can handle her pussy, I immediately say, do I need protection? Because that shit will
Gets
break
the
a
fencing
man.
outfit.
So, yeah, gauntlets. It's, what about, now, Kevin, I know when working in kitchen, you got these little chainmail things, and they're very cool, by the way, even though they're all kind of loose and you wish they'd fit better. And that's why you have, like, that little wrist garter that you got to wear so it doesn't slide down if you have those on yours. Have you ever worn a pair of them to do something?
Have I ever worn a pair of them for something? No. The only time I've ever worn anything like that, I suppose the only time is the occasional premises I've worked at that's got what's called a decarbonizer. So essentially a large vat of hot oven cleaner that you stick stuff into in lowerable trays for an hour, and it completely takes all your soot and grime from a day's cooking off it. And because of the hot and the chemicals, you're normally wearing, like the big elbow length rubber gauntlets for putting anything in and out to avoid
We've seen
splash
them
over the top
on
of the
Roger
glass.
Rabbit with the dip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly that. Any kind of thing like you imagine dying in a vat or anything, those big elbow length rubberized safety gloves, I've worn those a few times for using decarbonizers and stuff, yeah. In theory, I'm supposed to wear them in the cellar when I move barrels as well to avoid cutting my hands on sharp
He just
metal on
wears
my
them when he's
handle
killing tunes.
anytime I don't want to leave fingerprints, yeah.
There might be a resemblance between him and the judge if we got the right hat and glasses for him.
Dry it out a little bit more so I can tweak it in a devilish fashion.
We could be your weasels.
Well, when I make mustache wax, I'll send you some. You can work on that.
What do you guys imagine Muppet poop would look like?
Furry.
Never imagined.
Take a
And if you
moment.
poke it, it goes.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Cotton fluff.
Yeah.
Didn't it? What's that movie we watched with
Oh.
the Muppets and the detective? I know what Muppet Spooge looks like. A silly string.
Happy Time Murders? With Melissa McCarthy?
That phrase is amazing. Just those two words in combination, Muppet splooge.
No. Nicely done.
Hey!
Sounds like a particularly good throwaway Samuel L. Jackson insult in a movie, Goddamn motherfucking Muppet splooge.
Andrew, I feel like
You
that
start
could be your
using that.
I feel like that could be your new icon for your Twitch channel.
I feel like that needs to be a pen.
No, not the Muppet Spooch, Kevin. Do you actually look at the cameras and see what people are doing?
Yeah, sometimes, yes, but not all the time, and clearly not then.
Elizabeth, would you show
Yeah,
it again,
obviously.
please?
Maybe.
No.
Here, look.
Amazing.
It's like a little 70s album, man. And just working on.
That was great.
Figured if I can't talk, maybe.
That's awesome.
The best part is she says, I figured if I can't talk and no other words could be heard from her. It's like I couldn't be sure if she
Caption
did it on
competition.
purpose or the mic cut out. What, Kev?
As caption competition, if you're watching on Twitch, what did Elizabeth finish that sentence with?
If I can't talk,
I'll blank.
make whoopee. Exactly. Which, Kevin, when we played Cards Against Humanity, Elizabeth went and found that tune from the old game show to play when we were waiting for the answers.
Speaking
Awesome.
of Cards Against Humanity, when we play, I usually end up getting the card that is "Why am I sticky?" Well, my friend today delivered a flan that she made and covered it in saran wrap. And in the process of trying to uncover said flan, I got flan juice all over me, and it's sweet and sticky. And my roommate was like, "Why are you sticky?" I was like, "Ah, yes, the proverbial Cards Against Humanity
Yeah.
card. Flan.
Bigger,
Flan
blacker
is why
dick.
I'm sticky."
That's great.
So, Ed, have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
That's my stage name.
Yes, many years ago.
Okay. What about you, Kevin? You ever played it?
Yeah, I've played it, yeah.
Well, Andrea, Elizabeth, Chris, and I have been playing it every second or third week on Friday nights. And I know I've thrown the open invite into the Talk of the Tavern group. So let us know. I've made a special Friday night group for somebody who may or may not want to join on occasion. Okay, no, may want to join on occasion, not may not. If you don't want to, don't tell me to add you to the group. Just a dick move.
Whereas convincing your girlfriend that she's actually an android is a Philip K. Dick move.
And sweeping chimneys with a nanny.
It's going down the same line as the Roger GIF thing in Discord.
It's a Dick
We
Van
started
Dyke
the
move.
show because we should just draw a line here before we spend the next 45 minutes dad punning our existing audience.
What else
to
we
the
doing?
floor.
And shooting your friend in the head while hunting. That's a Dick Cheney move.
Okay.
That's horrible.
What, Ed?
Two is
just
wearing
gonna
gauntlets.
Go ahead.
I just got a message from my brother I'd like to share. He's very liberal and he's very into the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Right.
But it's now hit home for him and he's not really so much into it anymore. He says they've gone too far now. He lives in Riverside, California, by the way, just outside of LA. They've gone too far now. I'm getting my gun and ammo and going out to clear the street. What's made me so mad, you may ask? Well, I'm out of pot and I can't get any more because of the goddamn curfew.
The struggle is real.
There's a
the best
black man
reason
in
I've heard in a long
California
time.
leaving his house with a gun to buy pot, and he's angry. It might not be a smart move. By the way, fun fact.
High lives matter.
What there, Kev?
It's High lives matter.
Don't smoke angry. Don't
Unlike
smoke
Miller
angry.
High Life, which does not matter.
That's it. Boom. Yeah, I'm gonna chuckle. Ha ha! Like I got that.
American beer.
Yeah.
Bren!
Got that far I'd got.
Hold on, we got a raid here, guys. Let's raise our glasses to Bren and her crew of Bunny Bombers. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for raiding us. Thank you for joining us on our throwaway show where we're drinking and swearing and talking about horrible
And
topics.
talking
Okay, yeah.
Pretty much.
Did you throw that to me as a horror because I'm a horrible topic, or just because you thought I'd have a horrible topic on the tip of my lips ready to
No,
go?
because you said something, and I wanted to give our token minority, our British co-host, a little airtime because he never has a chance to talk.
I thank you.
Tip of my lips, my other stage name.
That also sounds like a stripper name, but let's not go back to that conversation.
Bren says I'm going
Tip
to
of
do
my
all
lips.
those things for
Why
my.
is this sticky?
Bren says I'm going to do all those things for my birthday in a few months. So let's help Bren warm up for her birthday in a few months.
Let's do it.
Here, here.
Up and going.
Chris knew I was drawing him. That's why he left.
Oh, okay. So I've got an interesting thing that'll kill 2 minutes conversation that I've just thought of.
Are we going to talk about your penis again?
It's-
All right.
So no, we're going to talk about me again. Unsurprisingly, you want to bring me up as a topic? Here we go. Last week I bored you all. Oh yeah, Ed, you missed it, bro. It was my
Damn.
birthday, love.
Oh. Birthday party.
So last week it was my birthday, so we
Did you get
celebrated.
laid?
No,
Oh.
not the show anyway. Yeah, so last week it was the 1 year anniversary since the last time I had a birthday. Today is exactly the 1 year anniversary that I suffered this heart attack.
I saw that.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Woo! Still alive, still kicking and spitting in the eye of life.
And drinking
Swearing
and smoking,
excessively
yeah.
in polite culture where it's not required. And drinking. Thank you for reminding me, yes.
Brent should join us for a game of Cards Against Humanity. Sure. But that's what I was saying to you, Kevin and Ed. Let me know if you want to join, and we'll
I'd be up for that, definitely.
Because we need some different blood. Just the four of us over and over, it gets a bit. Well, you kind of know how to work the players.
You know us British, son, if there's a bit of conflict involved, we're well up for it.
I don't know about conflict. There might be a. See, and I figure I could bring up to 8 people into Cards Against Humanity. Because I'm not.
Well, there you go.
You know, it's I wouldn't want to do more than 8, but 5 to 8 is a good number. Just 4, it's almost not enough people. It's
Yeah,
Go ahead, if
I'd be
you're-
up for it. I've got a few more weeks yet before I'm back at work, and even then I should have alternating Fridays with a bit of luck. I don't know right now. Don't know. I've no idea what the fuck is going to happen when I go back to work. So much is going to change. It's too early to say. But
Bren, Andrea loves Red Dragon Inn. Bren just asked,
And I have most of them.
ever play Red Dragon Inn? Yeah. Andrea, you want to tell her about your Red Dragon Inn collection?
I have most of them. I think I have all but, like, what, 2?
2
Love
or
it.
3. They, like the latest Kickstarters that came out in the past year or 2, she doesn't have. But she has the rest of them.
I do like that game. Haven't played it in a while because we're not allowed to be around people.
And we don't like to be. So, you know, between those two things. By the way, Bren, you always hear me talk about Andrea or hear the voice from the other room. That's Andrea. Wave it. There you go.
That's a me.
It's whereas Cards Against Humanity, we have to go through the electronic sets before the show and find the right sets because there are some of them that are just no.
Not playing that. Nope.
No. Yeah, it's the electronic sets. They get downright, not even like funny offensive. They just get downright. Okay, now you're just trying too hard. Joking.
Yeah.
I have not played.
and if you're playing Cards Against Humanity, you presumably want something that's different to these Monday night shows, which is essentially just 2 hours long of unnecessary crudeness and profanities.
That's true. That's true. No, Brent, I have not played a Joking
And we're
Hazard.
damn proud of it.
But I did write a card game called Awkward Compliments with a few other people. So Talking Toei, who was on earlier, is one of them. And Tara, who is on my Saturday Night Right Night about once a month. And yeah, not that it's similar, but it's I've seen the game. I know it. It's fun. So Elizabeth, when will you have your new computer so you can interact normally again?
Well, there's never anything normal, but Next week. Next week.
Next week. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But good news, it might be even sooner. I keep getting updates from my computer guy, and he's hooking me up. So
Nice.
for the small price of $3,000.
You know, for a good computer, like the computer I'm using now cost $4,000 7 years ago, and there's a reason it's still up to date and working mostly okie dokie, and that's because I did buy not the top, because I never buy the top, but just a little bit below that top, but above medium.
Right.
But it's a 3/4 mark.
Well, I went another route years ago, and then I found these guys through a friend, and he helped me out with a lot of computer issues, and he said, I want you to promise me the next time you need a computer built, come to us. We'll take care of you. And so I said, okay. And he's even getting me super liquid cooled stuff. He's getting me, I'm very excited. It's super powerful. So.
I'm still continuing to broadcast through my horrendous Frankenstein's abomination of a laptop. It's like its third different iteration now. It was one laptop, then it was disassembled and rebuilt into a new shell, which was then entirely transferred into this, and then, yeah. You get what you pay for. What's the trouble is a lot of people think, it's going to be outdated soon. I'll buy a cheap one. So then when it busts, I'll just buy, I can afford to buy another one. I don't want to spend thousands on something if it's going to be outdated, but that's the trick with computers. You spend enough money on it in the first place, you can up the damn thing.
Yeah.
There's these cheap, crappy, I don't know what the cost band would be over here, but over there, but here I can pick up a laptop for about 300 quid.
Yeah.
Some shitty old AP Pavilion or something like that, some basic college kid entry stuff. But the trouble is, it's all solid state. It's one solid motherboard with all the bits welded to it, because that's how they make it cheap as shit in a factory. You can't upgrade shit on it. You can't put a new graphics card in it, can't put more RAM in it, nothing. Spend a bit of money, get a decent one, and then when it gets outdated, upgrade it with newer stuff.
I've got a new thing.
He said.
I've got a new couple things we brought into the house. A couple weeks ago, and I just used them for the first time yesterday, I bought some wall hair trimmers. So I cut my own hair yesterday.
Oh, I do that all.
Well, yes. That explains the huge scar. You're horrible at this.
I do a similar thing with.
Yeah, it's I'm not saying I'm the only one out there, but I'm there. There's actually a spot that is pretty bad, but the rest of it, if you comb it right, nobody notices it. It's and then also yesterday we got a new grill, which Andrea spent the day putting together with the cat's help today. The one I had was like 10 years old, and you look inside, and you got to replace the gratings and the little tents over the propane burners and all that, and once you add all that up, you're spending $60-$70 just to fix up the old grill that's kind of old. So instead,
and about the same price for everyone.
Yeah.
You lost your propane burners. I'll let you where a barbecue is something you can use 3 afternoons a year for precisely 1 hour and 6 minutes. With gas, chuck a bag of char, fucking point. It'll all be overburnt and we'll be sunburnt before it's ready.
See, I used to do charcoal all the time, and then it got to a point of convenience of cleaning and whatnot over scooping out lumps.
We've discussed this before as well. I mean, but we don't grill like you Americans do. It's not. It doesn't have that same level of embedding embedding into a culture,
Kevin, I just went into Walmart, which of course is a big box store and pretty generic-ish, but the grills there.
Yeah, it's you.
They have wood pellet grills now, and they have like smoker attachments and cabins for dehydration, and they're like $700 for this fucking grill and like 2 side burners, and it's a fucking kitchen on wheels. I'm like, you'd use like a propane tank in one meal. It's well, I guess
sounds good to me.
Yeah, they're incredible. I mean, Andrew's like, well, I didn't want to make you look at them because you like, no, I don't want one, but I do want to look at them because. Wow. And Andrea's like, we got a smaller one, so we won't be able to have as many people over. I'm like, good plan.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And the downside.
We could fit you guys and done. You know.
You could fit me around your grill, like all the way around it.
It's so
Probably.
warm. So yeah, this year we've been investing a lot back into the property because I don't know how many of you. Hey, there's Jacob popping in. Good to see you, Jacob. Thank you for swinging by.
Hey,
What
bub.
up, Jacob?
5 months subscribed. Thank you for that resub. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but
Way99 has subscribed for 5 months in a row. 5 total. I am a rival.
there we go. If you guys have ever owned a house, every 5 to 7 years, you have to replace 70% of what the fuck is inside it. That's when you got to replace your toilet seats, and one of the big projects come due, whether it's replacing the roof or the AC unit or whatever.
Or the deck.
Yeah, the deck, and that seems to be last year. But we were broke, so this year with us both working a little more, we're able to put a little bit into it, and now we don't want to put too much because we're debating if we want to stay here or not, and considering the internet or lack
Yeah.
thereof.
I undertook a major renovation of my garden the other day.
How shall?
I moved a couple of handfuls of gravel from here to there, trimmed the fuchsia.
Harvesting weeds.
It needed to be done. Like a lot of people, I've experienced some unnecessary rampant bush growth during lockdown. So
I
sort
can relate.
that shit out before I go back to work.
Hmm.
There you go.
Unnecessary bush growth.
Yeah.
Gotta keep your box tight, eh?
So
Well, as soon as we get a chance, because we have a ramp on the front of our house, we're going to get rid of that and just put stairs. Hey, that's it.
You mean like? For some strange reason, I was picturing like like a skateboard half pipe.
That would be
Like
cool.
occasionally, just guys on off-road bikes just coming past, flipping mad Supermans past your house and stuff.
That's how we get in the house,
Yeah.
No, but
Superman
we're
in
gonna-
through the lock hatch.
We're going to take the ramp down and build a raised garden in the backyard so I can have my garden. Because our soil sucks. Killed so many plants.
Yeah, like 80% of the island is really clayey soil. It's a nightmare trying to grow stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
The other 20% is chalk.
nice.
But now I'm thinking we should just, instead of taking that ramp down, just make a half pipe.
There we go. Is that the kind of half pipe I can smoke?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah, that
Wow.
would be ultra cool, actually, would be if the side profile of your half pipe also had a stem.
It's a
Go
new
bowling.
design.
Now, something else we do on Friday nights, there is the possibility of Twitch Sings and the possibility of a watch party of something that Amazon Prime allows you to stream live with your audience. So, Ed, I'm guessing your silence each time I've offered means you're not interested. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Friday night.
Okay.
That's Teresa night.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew and I have both been having an urge to go camping lately. You got any of that on the books for you?
Aug.
Huh?
August, are you interested?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
That's probably the first time we'll be able to put it all together anyway, so that works out. It's maybe we'll, I don't know, can we bring Elizabeth into the woods with us?
Absolutely.
Well, she might not
She-
be
Yeah,
able
but
I'm
if
pretty
you-
good at the woods.
No, I know
She
you,
might object. We need.
I'll bring treats. I got nice treats.
see, I wasn't sure if
Let
you're
the
allowed
queen of the
to
hearth.
leave the house because of what's going on, so I don't know if camping in the woods would count or not.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Unless something
Jamie?
major happens.
Oh, that's right.
I bet Elizabeth does a kick-ass scary campfire story.
Oh, Elizabeth.
I do actually have a picture of a black bear that invaded our camp late at night.
I have a story
Yeah.
about Aiden vomiting and scaring a black bear out of our camp in the middle of the night. Seriously, the next morning we found a pile of shit next to where the bear was when Aiden went out.
You
Look at me looking like a boss in a few weeks' time down the pub, you know, when they first open, and you got a half cut on that first night. Like, no, trust me, mate. I've got friends in America. They swear blind child vomit. That's the way to avoid a bear attack. If you know, mate. Know what I mean?
Hey, Elizabeth, you know that song you wrote that
Yes,
you
sir.
recorded?
Yeah.
You could put that up on Twitch Sing
Yeah, that's
so
good.
other people could sing along to it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll talk to you more about that later. But yeah, there's a way you can.
I thought you were gonna have me post it. I'm like, oh god, I can't even touch my computer right now. Let's start.
No.
on fire.
We'll wait a week, but it's one of those things you can like freeform record it, and then it stays up there. And if you post it as a duet, other people can go in and sing along with it. Especially,
that would be fun.
yeah, I think it would be. Especially if there's any way you can get cue cards for the part they should sing. I don't know if that's possible.
Figure that out.
she can do it.
Chris knows. Chris knows I'm drawing him. Look at him.
He's posing. Oh.
Chris looks sassy.
Kevin's posing.
Tired. I haven't been sleeping well.
Why?
Oh,
I haven't been. Who knows?
Bryn is all about the great
Started
outdoors.
having weird dreams the other. I don't remember what the dreams are when I wake up in the morning, but I know I'm like, that was weird.
Why did I have pants on?
oh.
My advice is to eat lots of really good quality cheese just before bed. I have no idea if there's any correlation between that and vivid dreams, but if you're going to have fucked up dreams, you might as well enjoy the cheese first.
Cheese dreams.
And we're almost at the
Sleep.
1 hour mark. So I'll do the usual thing I do at the 1 hour mark in case anybody needs to escape for a couple of minutes. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and watching. I want to remind you that you can catch us on our podcast there in the information below the stream if you're watching us live. If you're not watching us live, feel free to join us Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern at twitch.tv/Travis Tavern Talk. And really, guys, thanks for just coming and hanging out. Not to mention all the extra support like the subscriptions, the bits, and all these other things. Appreciate that. Yeah, there we go. We get toast to that. We didn't do a toast, did we?
We did not do it.
Let's do a toast for the beginning of the second
Smart.
hour.
It's the beginning of the show.
That's right. We haven't started yet. So, quote number 81. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Mark Twain. Talking about him earlier. Good old Mark.
Here.
And word you were talking about, Ed? Nice. I must have cut out.
Yeah.
Timely.
Okay.
Say it again, Elizabeth. We'll all be quiet.
For the best. I said, was that the N word you were talking about, Ed? Nice.
Is that how we're referring to it now? The Ed word.
Nice. She asked, is that the N word you were talking about? Nice.
I thought you said Ed word. That's like reverse cultural appropriation there.
Talking about the N word?
At the
I thought
beginning of the
bird
show,
was the
you
word.
can't read Mark Twain because it has a
Was
word
it?
in it.
Oh, okay.
Word is
Because it
the
has
word.
that word in it. Okay.
Which it doesn't
I was
anymore.
going to say,
They took it out.
I know I didn't say the N word because I say the fucking word, okay? So.
Yeah,
He's got a
Ed doesn't say
membership
it.
card.
He
He's
says
allowed.
it.
It's
But I'm allowed to say it, but only if I refer to it in a post-ironic. For example, if I were to greet Ed, "What is up, my Negroid brethren?"
Nice.
Thanks.
that's
Said the
not
N
awkward.
word. Nice.
What's up, my nicer?
That's all right. Don't worry, Elizabeth. We'll bleep it out after fact.
Kevin and
Nobody will ever know you enjoy
everything.
yourself here. Bleep out everything I say.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you over the beeping noise. What'd you say?
Cunt.
Yeah, I don't bleep that one.
Nah.
That's the first time tonight. Just fulfilling my contractual British obligation.
There we go.
I tell you how much you've corrupted me, Kevin. My brother put this heartfelt post on Facebook, and he starts it off with, "I'm going to talk about the C word." And I'm like, "Cunt?" He's talking about cancer. Oh, sorry.
My work here is done. Hang on. Just crossing Virginia off the whiteboard. Okay, cool.
Now, is white sport spelled with an H or just WIGHT like your island?
Yeah, like the Isle of Wight.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I feel like I should defend myself there because that sounds like I'm coming from like white privilege land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
You are
know.
British.
I live on the Isle of Wight.
No, it's
Well,
more
yeah, there is that. Yeah. Let's not even get into Britain's part in creating white privilege in the first place.
There we go. It's no, Isle of Wight is in the undead soul-sucking creatures.
Our country.
There's Joseph throwing his 150
Joseph
bits.
Kennedy
Not 2 cents.
66 cheer.
Thank you.
Oh,
There.
nice bits.
150.
Beautiful, big, strong, manly bits. So,
I will be back in 30 seconds. I'm just going to grab a beer from the fridge.
very good, very good.
Yeah, you
Anybody have any summer plans, or have we all like canceled making plans at all until further notice?
want to get out of my fucking house.
Once I get furloughed, I'm gonna go probably spend about a month with my parents down in Georgia at their house. A little more,
Oh,
maybe a
cool.
little
Good for you.
See how long I can stand.
Living with your parents.
He faded.
I have a topic / rant for when we're off air.
Okay.
Relating
Oh,
to such
oh my.
things.
Yeah, I had a beach trip week at the beach trip. Outer Banks planned, and well, that didn't happen. Camping trip planned, well, that didn't happen.
We might camp in our backyard Wednesday.
Now I'm changing jobs. That's why it's not going to be till August before I can do anything.
Maybe we should just invite you down here for a weekend, Ed, and we all just camp in the backyard and use the fire pit.
Well, actually, I was thinking about, depending on what guys we can look like having you guys up for the weekend. We can talk canning and drink. Spend the weekend. We can get naked, soak in a hot tub, whatever.
It might be a while because I go back to work Saturday and I usually work weekends.
You guys are all welcome to come and camp in my garden as well if you work out a regular basis.
Yeah, 'cause you got Fred.
We're gonna need triple bunk beds.
I'll be right over. I'm on my way. Actually, my friend and my composer friend is saying, "When you come out to Ireland, let's work on a project. Let's do."
Work on a project.
Stripper events.
Okay, who wants to fill in what kind of project she'll be working on with him?
She's telling us her stripper names.
Militant right-wing leprechaun porn.
That's your stripper name?
Tip of the lips. Why is this sticky?
Rumble again. It's not my stripper name. It's my online chat room name.
You should watch the new show, Upload. There's a point where he dresses like a leprechaun for his own funeral because that's what his rich girlfriend wanted, who's paying for his upload after his death.
Yeah, they don't die. They get, put on the internet. It's actually pretty cool. We saw a couple episodes.
Sounds very Black Mirror.
No,
But
much
clearly
more
not as good.
comedic.
It's not Black Mirror.
It's like Black Mirror on comedy. By the way, Ed, we did watch all of season 1 of Discovery and like 5 or 6 episodes of season 2. And though season 2 was different, I still enjoyed it. We were enjoying it before we lost the free trial thing.
Oh, they've done with that now?
Well, yeah, we had our
The free trial?
month and watched Picard and 1.5 of Discovery, and yeah, it was definitely different, but still, we were okay with it. It was still entertainment. Now, HBO Max is supposed to be coming out, and they had a horrible launch for that. AT&T is like, hey, if you have AT&T, you get it for free. The thing is, HBO Max did not make a deal with the 2 biggest distributors of streaming channels, which is Roku and Amazon Fire. So, they're like, well, you can watch it on your phone. And I'm like, no, I can't. Or I won't. Well, you could sit at your computer and watch it stream. No, you seem to miss the point of me having streaming, which is to sit in my living room and watch what I want when I want. Not stare at a little 3-inch by 6-inch screen and squint as Andrea tries to lean in. Is she wrestling her mic? What is she doing?
I think so.
Get it, girl. Get it.
RKO out of nowhere.
Harry's in here, and he keeps headbutting it, so it came off, so I need to move it.
He does the same thing to me.
My God, JR, it's carnage.
I'm wondering what kind of dip we're going to have in movie production because of this. Is there going to be like next year's summer blockbusters are going to be like...
Garlic.
Huh?
Garlic and chive.
Animation industry is exploding because they can have the animators work at home. Yeah, it's just some have figured out how to do it, and
maybe I should suggest. Maybe I should suggest that for work. Somebody works from home all week and runs the reports for the live hiring events. That might not be a bad idea.
You can do that.
I don't know if I'd want to. Because they're throwing a lot of reports our way that we got to run. It's kind of mind-numbing and stupid.
Okay, let's see
all
how that
right.
works. Hi, Harold.
How's it working?
Oh, your sound?
It's working for now.
I was just clarifying what she's asking about. Wasn't which one of us she was wondering how it's working. I mean, it's okay. I'm older, but it's still fine. Thank you for asking. No problems. No kinks in those.
So
That's no
they're
fun.
opening stuff. They're opening stuff up, I think.
Cool.
Have they started opening things?
Yeah. Ish.
Well, I know my work never closed. So,
Mine either.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's quite odd. For me, it's a bit weird because it's almost like you've done everything we've done, but you've done it way quicker in a much shorter time span because you went into and out of lockdown quicker than we have.
Well, there's still a lot of discussion.
People are starting to get pissed off.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
This is what I said earlier. I'd quite happily swap jobs with Ed. I am bored shitless.com right now.
Write a book.
Well, so like my county in Maryland, even though most of Maryland has started opening back up, is still in lockdown.
I've just finished re-watching Netflix.
We have curfews here, Kennedy, and that's where a lot of the people who are doing the protests that turn into riots often get arrested. It's for curfew.
We have curfew?
Yeah. Apparently. I don't know what it is. I didn't
I
read
didn't-
it.
Where was I at? Probably at home, because I'm happy to stay here.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I'm looking up Virginia curfew. Virginia Beach under 8 p.m. curfew in response to protests from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. until Thursday. So it's a, I guess they're putting it up because of the protests.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like there's always some for minors. I didn't know that.
It's a curious fact. It's little known, but actually, people are far less inclined to smash windows when they're their own.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah. It's, okay, so Fredericksburg has one. It was put up today.
Oh.
That's 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. And here's the actual executive order from the governor, state of emergency, and institution of curfew in the city of Richmond. And this was put up as of yesterday.
You said 8 a.m. to 6 a.m.?
8 p.m. to 6 a.m. If I misspoke, my apologies.
DC has a 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew.
But what if you have to work?
You're allowed. You just can be stopped and questioned and possibly arrested if they don't like where you work.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep, and here it's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the city of Richmond. So it looks like very select locales, not statewide. Yeah, okay, so people
No.
are the exception. These are the exceptions. Persons traveling to and from home, work, or places of worship, hospital personnel, members of the press, state and city of Richmond employees and volunteers, military personnel, private emergency medical transport workers, people seeking emergency services, other emergency workers. Huh. Okay.
That's a lot of people, though.
It is. It is.
Yeah. It's kind of like the whole lockdown within itself. You can't go to work unless.
Right.
Yeah, you fucker, you gotta go to work. And guess what? People that aren't working, they're making more fucking money than you are right now.
Yep. I know some people at
Just
Amazon.
asking for a friend.
Go ahead.
What level of desperation do you have to reach before you can classify a sex worker as an essential worker?
They're illegal here anyway. But considering they left the alcohol stores open, I would
Travis,
say it's equivalent.
With all due respect, old boy, they're illegal here as well. It doesn't mean I don't know where to go looking for.
I know where Andrea sleeps,
Yeah.
and I know what she
Yeah,
charges.
the alcohol stores are open. Why do they have the alcohol stores open? Is it to appease people so they just stay home? But you don't want drunk people because they're assholes.
Yeah.
But they're assholes at home now.
Not really. Not always. But if they drink, they get this idea, they leave the house. Things happen. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's Andrea's average day at work.
For what it's worth, I long for a country that has the freedom where I can get shit-faced and then go and buy a flamethrower at 3 in the afternoon.
We sell flamethrowers.
Hell yeah, you do. Do you care if
I've
I've
had
had a
one.
few? Do you care if I've had a few beers before I come shopping for one? Are you gonna breathalyze me at the till? See, there you go. Fuck yeah, I can get
Depends if you-
shit-faced and buy a flamethrower.
It
I'm
depends if
happy.
you share before you get to the till.
God bless America.
Good times. Ugh.
So, since Bigfoot's already like sequestered, do you think? I don't know. I just thought about Bigfoot. Poor Bigfoot.
I'm just imagining him
I
in
don't
the
think
Pope's
Bigfoot's that
chamber.
bothered. Surely he's quite adept at socially isolating.
Well, when you say sequestered, I
And
imagine.
World champ hide and seeker.
Like all the national parks aren't full of people. He's just like, look at me run nude. Oh wait, I'm already nude. But like, look at it dangle.
Oh my god, you got
Might
footage of that?
actually You might get increased Bigfoot sightings, you know, because normally he's quite hard to spot, but with the bright blue surgical face mask.
They started out just by pulling their fur across their mouth and nose. So how many people have seen somebody go to sneeze while wearing one of the masks, pull it down to sneeze, and then put it back up?
Yep.
Uh-huh. How many
Maybe the
people
next
see
thing I
people
I don't want.
walk around with the face mask
I'm
below
guilty
their...
of it.
Oh, are you really? But you're
I'm
probably
guilty of it.
alone in your little cubby booth.
No, I was at a store the other day after they mandated we have to wear masks in public, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I got this thing on my face. I don't want to sneeze in that, and pulled it right down, sneeze, put it back up, and I was like, But I'm glad I did that, because I don't want to sneeze in this shit and then have that all over my face. So.
Especially since I got COVID and there's a lot of snot. So
And somebody in the next aisle said, "Bless you."
how many people like
I'd
to...
be totally fine with it. He sneezed, it's fine. There's mucus, it's not dry, it's not COVID. Carry on, son.
COVID's not dry. It's like when they brought out the study.
It's not particularly moist either.
No, not particularly. It depends on the individual.
It's sticky.
Yeah. That's why Chris is
Why am I COVID? New Cards Against Humanity series. Cards
You
Against
wait.
COVID.
You wait.
I mean, I know now that when you're out in public, you have to have a mask on. You don't. Did they really arrest you or fine?
Enclosed. I thought it was in enclosed spaces. But
Correct.
when you were inside,
Indoors.
you had to.
Indoor public places.
Yeah, you're at your house. You're somewhere. If you don't have it, can they fine you? Can they arrest you? What's
Supposedly, it is in Virginia a class 1 misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor. So has anybody else corrected people when they have the mask on, but it's below their nose? At work,
No,
you're allowed
I've got a
to.
very.
When we have a new...
I've got a.
Mhm, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I've got quite a valid reason for not poking holes at anybody else when it comes to bullshit like mask etiquette, whether you choose to wear one or not, etc., etc. And that is because the single thing that's upset me most about this whole COVID thing is the level to which we've just degenerated to a bunch of whiny, bitchy little curtain twitchers in this country. I don't know if it's the same in the US. I'm talking England now. I'm not accusing you guys of the same thing, but
you're right.
Everybody peeking out from behind the net curtains. I've stayed home, I've isolated, but Mrs. Jones down the street, I saw her go in here, and I saw him go in there, and I saw him do it. Fuck off.
Hey, Gary.
Use your own self-judgment.
What up, Gary?
Decide for your... All right, Gary, how's it going? Decide for yourself what's safe. Operate in a way that you think keeps you and your family safe. If someone else around you is doing something that disturbs you, move the fuck away from them. Don't get up in their face and give them a bunch of shit about it. We all believe in different religions, different politics, different thoughts on COVID. Travis.
Somebody at work told me they saw somebody come in a mask that had cut a rectangle out of the mask so they could breathe better while wearing the mask to protect themselves and others. Yes, Ed?
There was
oh my god,
it's,
Ed?
I saw a guy in Walmart about a week ago before the mandate, but they were recommending wearing the mask. He had a Batman mask.
Nice. So just the top half.
they wouldn't.
Yep.
They wouldn't Darth Vader helmet. I'm like, it's enclosed. I could breathe better in that than this thing stuck on. They said no.
There was one on a page called British Banter the other day where someone had the surgical mask on, but they cut a little slit in the middle so you could still get your fag in through it.
By the way, Gary says, I saw
Cigarette.
some distancing and mask
I'm afraid
shaming.
either or.
I was at Walmart and I saw a guy wearing his jeans that were pulled down below his package.
Did
They
he have
were
a
below his
surgical
butt
mask on
and
it?
his
By the way-
standing there, no mask, skinny little arms, just like I'm a badass. And I walk past it.
You're going to need 2 masks.
And then
mister.
get ready for the punch. Get ready for the.
Okay. Gary says, I saw some distancing and mass shaming vids from England.
It's been petty as fuck. It's quite sickening, to be honest, the level, and it's everybody, everywhere, criticizing every little thing, stupid, bitchy arguments, and that's before I even get into the crap about people sharing stupid, fanciful theories and unproven bollocks and just whipping each other up into a stupid frenzy over it all. I'm not diminishing the threat of COVID, but our reaction's been childish. Travis, Ed, go for it, fight.
Travis.
Fight!
I get, Andrew and I went to Walmart sometime in the past few days, and this is after the mandate where everybody's supposed to wear a mask, and probably 20 to 30% of the people did not have masks on. And I have such mixed internal reactions. On one hand, I'm like, that's right, like it really matters. You go ahead and not wear a mask. On the other hand, I'm like, but come on! Where the fuck's your mask? What's wrong with you? It's, I'm so torn on the issue, because...
I think a big part of that, though, is that every country has been well, with a few notable exceptions, has been really shit about telling you what the facts are. So there's a lot of confusion over what is or isn't the correct advice, because a lot of people telling you the truth don't really know, and they're making shit up based on what they think will keep you calm.
Here's a few...
And if you... That's why a lot of people... Sorry, I'm finishing off and I'm done. That's why people don't know how to react to this stuff. That's why there's so much conflict at the moment, because you're trying to base an emotional base off something that's not a steady base.
Here's a few things related to that. When masks first came out and people were like, should we wear them, should we not? Of course, here on the show, we said use your damn common sense. Does it stop it? No. Does it help? Sure. Go with that. Now, the other thing is, of course, you can take it in through the eyes. And we're not wearing any kind of eye protection. When this first started going around where people were wearing masks, there was a group of people putting information out there that, you know how like one side is blue, one side is white of the surgical masks? Which side to wear out. And if you are sick and don't want to get other people sick, you wear it blue side out. But if you're not sick and you want to protect yourself from other, you wear it white side out. That was a bit of misinformation. You know the mask with the little plastic filter cover thing? They are now... these are out there, and they don't actually have any circulation through them. They're bullshit. It's a piece of plastic clipped on that doesn't make any fucking difference at all.
You know those are the ones that are made in China, right?
It's not with COVID.
Those are the ones infected.
With the dumb disease.
Thrown out at one time for the Wuhan clan.
Yeah.
And bear with us, guys. It looks like we're getting a low bandwidth bump here, so it'll clear up in a minute. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not surprising, and it's one of the reasons I don't finger point, because even I not to sound big-headed, but compared to a lot of the people I have a tendency to talk to on a regular basis, I'm considered one of the smart ones. Fuck knows why. And even I read a lot about stuff. You know me, I'm one of those people, I've always got an opinion, but very rarely is it poorly considered or not thought out. I like to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Hence my comment earlier. You asked me about the current stuff, and I'm like, to be honest, I don't know enough to comment sensibly on it, which is why I'd rather not.
Neither do the people
obviously
doing
I have an
it.
opinion on the... Yeah, okay, yeah, a given,
Yeah.
But it's just, it's a ridiculous amount of pettiness and silly jibing, and all it's done is bring out the worst in our society, which is a society that, as we've covered in other shows for other reasons, I'm not overly proud of as a country at the moment anyway. And this has done nothing but reaffirm myself that England has become a country of bitchy little whingers. We've lost all our fucking spine.
There is a lost thought in there somewhere. And I don't know what it was. But I will tell you, at work, we are now allowed to tell people to pull their mask up over their nose. We're supplying masks to people that walk in without one. And yes, the couple of people I work with, they'll be like, can you pull the mask all the way up to cover the nose too? And on one hand, I
walk past the shop.
No, go on.
It's all right, finish. No, go on. I'll just go in a minute.
Well, my other thought was, the lost thought was, I doubt any of these people that are rioting were sitting at home going, you know what, I think I'm going to go out and do mass hysteria and start burning public property. I doubt that was their plan when they left the house. But because of proven psychology, people in mass react certain ways. Andrea?
Are they wearing masks when they leave?
Good question.
When they're out the house, are they all wearing masks to riot?
No, most of them are not. There was
Around here, most of them are.
When rioting? Really? Good for them.
Yep.
That's...
A friend of mine
Well,
documented her time at the riot last night on Snapchat, of all things. But I would say probably about 85% of the people were wearing masks.
It's
I walked past a shop
Riot
here on
safe
the island.
people.
That's right.
I walked past a shop here on the island the other day that had a sign on the door that said, "Do not be misled by government-led hysteria. You are being lied to. If you are wearing a face mask, you will be refused entry and service in our shop. Don't be a sheep."
Wow.
What do you think about
It's
that,
fine.
Kevin?
I won't be a sheep or a customer. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't get, to be honest with you, it wouldn't matter which side of the fence my opinion fell on. As a British person, you tell me I can't do something because I believe something different to you. My answer is fuck you.
I think that's a good general reaction across the board for most things across the world, barring a few select areas where, no, you will fucking do what they do, otherwise you will be dead. Looking largely at a couple of countries in the Middle East that are very
Can I just stare innocently at the ceiling and forget everything I said earlier about British colonialism?
Mm-hmm. Gary says, I love that, Kevin.
What's that?
What you just said. He's responding to what you just said. Take it off, says Gary.
Yeah.
Take it all off, says Ed. Yes, Ed.
I would do, but I can only go this far before I breach Twitch regulations. Or did we now decide the male nipple is acceptable? I can't remember.
As long as it's not sexual.
Yes.
I don't want to risk it.
It is acceptable conditionally.
For Ed.
Conditionally.
Ed.
Yeah.
I was in a store the other day and I heard my father tapping on my shoulder and speaking in my ear as I was going through the store, because as I was going through, people, about 80%, maybe 75% were. And as I was going through, there's this chick, she's got this neck gaiter mask on, and it's up to here and almost around her ears and everything. But she didn't have on, normally I describe really short shorts as ass short. Her shorts were see my ass short. You could see the curvature of butt cheeks and everything. And I heard my father speaking in my ear, damn, she's wearing more material on her face than she is on her ass.
And to answer Gary's question, he says, seriously, no male nip action? Gary, this went back and forth a couple years ago on Twitch, where, of course, you couldn't have female nipples, so people bitched, how come you can have male nipples? So Twitch went, fine, no nipples at all. And then other people, as Chris will explain if we so desire, went, but I work out on my Twitch stream. This is my thing. This is what I do. And Twitch eventually changed it again, where, yes, you can have male nipples as long as it's not sexually oriented, suggestive, or so on. So, yeah, it's in theory, Kevin would get in less trouble for just showing nipple than touching his nipples while covering them. Especially if he moans while covering them. Oh, yeah. But you could do it over the shirt and moan.
Especially when he's covering him with candle wax.
Brexit was the worst decision this country ever made.
Was that sexual? Is that your...
And see, that was a protest. That wasn't sexual. That was a protest.
I tried to make it borderline between sexual and aggressive.
Now he's going to light his nipple on
Much
fire.
much like the bedroom. Yeah.
That's right.
And throw it at a policeman.
Gary says I'd cut out holes in my shirt just because it's...
Free the nipple, brother.
But I have seen people on here doing body
Just
paint
your own,
women
though.
too.
Please don't go around unannounced attempting to free other people's nipples.
You announce it
Both
first. I'm freeing your nipple.
Both I and my injunction can attest it's a bad idea.
Well, bad idea for that person. Good idea for everybody who look over when you yell, "I'm freeing your nipple." I mean, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
I believe it's supposed to be a personal movement,
Pickle
not a
nipples.
guerrilla action.
What, Elizabeth?
Pickle nipples.
No nipples.
Nipples.
Free the
Pickle
pickle.
Nipples.
Free the pickle. It's a movement I could get behind. Wouldn't want to be in front of it.
That's timing, Chris. Timing. Right there.
That's amazing.
This time I forgot Kevin.
Oh well, it's easily done. It's not like I stick out like a sore thumb, both physically and socially.
No, it isn't. I've been trying for years. Still can't do it, man.
I think I caught a rather indignant look on your face.
Once you cut them all out, Elizabeth, are you going to put them on
I can't really.
sticks and use us as little puppets?
Yeah.
Like Kabuki
You
theatre.
didn't.
Maybe it's this. Hold on, I'm looking for the
The
cute
good
command.
old-fashioned Punch and Judy show.
Punch and Judy, absolutely.
There we go.
Good idea.
Sausages.
There we go.
Do you know who Paul Zaloom is?
No.
He was he's a puppeteer. He did the Beekman show back in the 90s. A weird like science-y Saturday morning kid cartoon.
I remember him, yeah. I
Well,
remember the
apparently
show.
he does a Punch and Judy show that involves several large dildos. And he, the University of Maryland
As
has
characters or as props?
both. One's a character, one's a prop.
Of course he does.
The University of Maryland has a resident artist program from the Henson Foundation at the university. So they get all these puppeteers to come in and do things. And he put on this very raunchy Punch and Judy puppet show in the theater. And the organizers had no idea because they knew him as Paul Zaloom, the puppeteer who did the like kid-friendly like Saturday morning show. And he was like, if you look at anything else in my repertoire of work, like that is a small blip that like kind of made me like kid morning famous for like shit that I'm never ever gonna do again.
It's, if you ever
And
watch
it was quite amusing.
Tim
What?
Taylor, Tim Taylor, the Tool Man, if you have ever heard his stand-up before he went to Disney, filthy. Talking about, why can't you blow your buddy? Who knows how to handle your dick better than another guy? Why can't you be like, hey, great game, get me a beer and a blowjob? What, Kev?
It's a shame he's not here because I know Ed would appreciate this, but my son is now a teenager, and as such, access has been opened to a whole new world of shit his dad would not talk about with him before. Amongst this, my son's got like he's got a real love for old cheese, well, what to him are ancient cheesy movies, to me are classics of our day, you know. But he's gone back and watched things like the original RoboCop and stuff like that. And one series of movies that he was particularly fond of when he was younger, because he likes a good old, silly comedy, John, were the Beverly Hills Cop movies.
Oh, they're working on part 4, by the way.
Can you see where I'm going with this, following the previous analogy? My son knows Eddie Murphy only from Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3 and Coming to America as his sole Eddie Murphy exposure. Not anymore. He has seen Raw. He has seen Relentless now. He's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, these are the secrets your parents have been keeping from you.
Hey,
Your child-friendly
Andrea,
actors are all filthy.
what's that other movie with the with Grace Jones in it?
Boomerang.
And by the way, hello, Gomatarka.
It's
Good
horrible.
to see you.
Yep.
Thanks for swinging by.
Hey, what?
Gomatar. I said hello to Gomatarka, who dropped into chat.
Hey.
Hi. No, Boomerang has Eartha Kitt in it, and Grace Jones, and Eddie Murphy, and just watch it.
Eddie Murphy
It's
sleeps
great.
with
It's
Eartha
great.
Kitt. So there we go.
She seduces him real good. It's great.
And the only white people are during the rich money-making scene, and like one waitress.
The racist waitress. Yeah.
Well, she's not actually racist, but she is dubbed racist by anything she says. You know, heaven forbid she recommends the chicken salad to the table of Eddie Murphy and his friends. It's yeah, obviously racist. So I think they were very much, you know, because it's one guy who's shouting that stuff out, and the other guys are like, "Calm down."
Yeah. It's funny though.
It is
I like old cheesy movies, 80s movies.
like Airplane.
Yeah. That's not 80s though, is it?
Yeah,
That's big.
Yes,
it's probably.
I watched
very early.
watched Repossessed last night. Father, may I? Yes, my child, you may.
That and Saturday the 14th.
Yeah, one of the few things Elliot Gould was good in. That and the Ocean's movies, where he looked like Elton John. It's I tell you what, I think Airplane is probably the third most quotable movie I know. Of course, Princess Bride coming in number 1, and I'm not sure what number 2 is, but I'm sure there's something more quotable than Airplane. But
I don't
can't-
know, but like, So I Married an Axe Murderer.
That's a great movie.
I was very impressed when we met and you understood that movie. You quoted it.
If you haven't
Okay,
seen it, it's
yeah,
definitely
this will
worth-
kill. I'm curious. I want to fire this out to you all for fill 5 minutes. We've all got those like movies you know that you love, that you've got famous lines from that you like to quote, or whatever, you know, or films that you know whole sections verbatim. So if you had to pick a top 3 movies you can quote the most shit from, what would your top 3 be? Travis,
Princess
straight
Bride,
in.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Airplane.
Nice. Anyone else?
Monty Python's in
good.
there. Probably The Emperor's New Groove, because I can quote most of that movie in general. I don't know what number.
Think about it. Elizabeth?
As good as it gets, Princess Bride and Air.
Okay. You got any, Ed?
Excuse me, stewardess.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I speak Jive.
The Last of the Mohicans, A Few Good Men, and for Star Wars, A New Hope.
Andrea?
I have to narrow it down to 3.
I'm just curious if Hocus Pocus will make your top
No, what-
3.
This week's most commonly used 3.
Well, okay. Of course, Princess Bride. Yes, Hocus Pocus. There's also Clue,
Oh, yeah.
and there was another one. I just lost it. But yeah, different ones. It depends on the day. Depends on the week.
We could do a whole show where we just make sure we have a bunch of quotes from our favorite movies, and we try to put them in every time we say something. But I've got a bad
Mine
feeling about
would
this.
probably-
Go ahead, Kevin.
Mine would probably be Apocalypse Now. And to be honest, though they're both by the same director, probably Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
Both great movies.
probably, if challenged, quote the whole of Snatch from the opening credits to the end. But
You like that?
Dags? You like Dags?
Hey, Kevin.
Like the periwinkle blue.
Kevin, have you watched Lucky Number 11?
Yes.
That always reminds me of
Yeah.
Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in the pacing, the feel, the twists.
Yeah, the style of it. Yes. Yeah. There's just so many great quotable lines and moments of wonderful Englishness in both of those two movies. You can pick almost any scene.
Victor.
Elizabeth, start again, please.
I was gonna say Victor Victoria. Forgot that. It's
Victor Victoria.
One of my all-time favorite.
So,
Robin Hood Men in Tight. I can quote a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Brooks' History of the World.
yeah, I was about to shout that out. That's another great one.
Fantastic.
See, if we go into the top 5, you get stuff like Star Wars and Mel Brooks. Can we just
Spaceballs is another one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Mel
Spaceballs.
Brooks, the silent movie.
my hair.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
That was the first time I'd ever heard "son of a bitch" used. Was when they shot her hair, and that son of a bitch shot my hair, and I was like, "Mom and Dad just let me hear that, like in a movie."
And they laughed.
When I was a kid, my parents didn't take me to any movie. So when Star Wars came out, I didn't see it for like 3 years until after it had already been out.
Re-released
But
for
my mom
Empire.
got me this thing. It's called a record album, and it had the narrator as well as the movie, what they were saying in the movie, the entire thing on this album, and I could quote it from end to end listening to that album.
So when you finally saw Star Wars after listening to this album and seeing the toys and possibly reading a comic or reading a book, what do you think of the imagery?
I still loved it. Yeah, still loved it.
Did it live up? Did it surpass? Did it fall short in some areas?
It surpassed anything from, yeah.
I mean, in your head,
Of
what
course,
you had
I
built
was
up.
12 years old. I had all the fucking toys.
Right.
Yeah, it surpassed.
All 14 of them.
Well,
You had like 9 action figures and an X-Wing and a TIE fighter. And I had the Death Star with the trash compactor and the bridge that went back and forth. That was a cool toy.
cool.
I've told this story before.
When I was a kid, I was hugely into Transformers, and my parents bought me Metroplex. Anyone remember that?
Ooh, yeah.
It was like literally
Yeah.
an entire transforming city. You could put other Transformers inside. I had it 4 days, and I suffered a bout of young boy curiosity and dismantled the entire thing with a screwdriver to see how it was all put together. And none of us could ever put the fucker back together again.
I bet your parents were pissed.
Oh, he was. My dad was OP. I think that was the first age at which I understood that you could be angry without being angry.
Yeah, that would
Like,
definitely be
my dad was so raging on the inside that although he was trying to be really nice and kind and make it a learning experience on the outside, I'm like, I am scared. My dad is clearly fucking furious.
It's with the Death Star. When I was 7, on my 7th birthday, my mother's current husband, her third, took me to the toy store, Lionel Playworld back then, before Toys R Us was big, and he said, "You get to pick out one big toy. Do you want like this super awesome RC car racetrack, or do you want the Death Star?" And I remember at 7 walking back and forth from the one aisle to the other and looking at them both and thinking it over carefully. And I already had like 4 action figures. And I chose the Death Star, and he bought me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 more action figures to go with it. Life-changing moment right there. I look at how later I went into D&D and writing, and I think that play set and those action figures had a lot to do with my interest in telling stories and making up things in my head.
Has anyone seen the video that was out recently that was viral? That's absolutely horrifying, which is someone throwing the 7-foot-long Lego Star Destroyer model off a balcony.
No.
Like
I don't like horror
like
movies.
a mezzanine floor inside someone's house, not outside. But yeah, he just appears with this guy's Star Destroyer in the middle of an argument and just throws it off the balcony, and the camera slows down and watches it just shatter into all these pieces. It's horrifying.
Them fighting
So
words.
horrifying. I watched it 6 times.
So what was everybody's favorite childhood
Find a
toy?
link, put it in chat. I want to see that.
Link. I'm gonna find it. Hang on. Find it and throw it at you in Discord now while we're chatting.
Okay, and besides Kevin and me, what was everybody's favorite childhood toy?
It was a farm set.
Like they gave you a hoe and told you to go outside and get to work?
No, I was about 7 or 8 years old. Christmas one year, my mom and dad got this. It was a farm set. It had a barn, it had cows, it had people planting crops, it had little crops. You could stick them in this little thing. Horses, chickens, tractors, you could plow the field with. The
Nifty.
whole 9 yards. My favorite toy went out.
Huh. Chris, Elizabeth, or Andrea?
There were a couple, because there was. I rotate through things that I am interested in and then come back to them later. So it was always like, I'm really into Star Wars right now, so I need all these Star Wars toys. And then, 6-8 months later, I'm really into Power Rangers right now. And then, a year later, it'd be like, all right, now my Power Rangers and my Star Wars can mix and be superheroes together. But I remember I had the Johnny Quest helicopter that the propellers moved when you squeezed the fin under the tail, and it shot him out of the mouth of the Johnny Quest helicopter.
Okay.
And I played with that a lot. And then there's this guy that my grandmother gave me many, many years ago. It was one of the last things she gave me before I died. And this guy has gone everywhere with me and lives on the bed. Yeah.
Now, did Andrea and Elizabeth both leave to get the favorite toy that they still have?
Maybe.
Oh, there it is.
I've had this for a very long time. It's my Farmer Mickey. And apparently I couldn't say Mickey when I was little. I called him Farmer Bickles. And I still have him.
What about you, Elizabeth?
It wasn't the original, but my backbook. And I had Sundance Kid from Butch Cassidy's Sundance, which I finally saw the movie this week. Chris Castle, and this, my little kayak bud. And I still use him in the tub. He floats. He's like this amazing toy. And he floats. And I'm working up the courage to take a few photos. And I wanna message Ricky Gervais because he'll take photos of himself in the and I want to just have this, and I have it going between my feet. I haven't thought of it, so I'll figure it out.
Very good.
Best toy ever.
Very good. That's very cool. It's that was a pleasant stroll down memory lane. Kevin, did you want to throw something in there besides your Megaplex City?
No, so I'm lost still trying. I've just discovered that there's a whole world of Lego Star Wars models being destroyed on YouTube, which momentarily distracted me and will give me hours of pleasure after the show.
This quartz crystal right here, I probably got when I was 6 or 7, and man, this has been hours of magical koozie what's-its and ship power controls and all kinds of crazy. So I love this little piece of quartz.
See, besides the Death Star, there's other
that's
Star
awesome.
Wars toys, like the Droid Factory, where you can build your own little droids, and the Star Destroyer toy, I had that, which was nothing more than one raised platform and two lowered trenches where people can come in. But you had the Darth Vader seat, and I think those are probably the ones I remember best. So they'd probably have to be up there. And Bender, how are you?
I had a lot of Star stuff.
Huh?
Was
Like
it?
I had the old school Type A class shuttle that like opened up and the top came off or hinged in the middle, and it had a sliding door in the middle, and you had Kirk up front and Spock in the back.
I did have the Star Trek Bridge playset with the transporter that you push the thing and they spun around really quick and fell over.
Yeah.
By the way, Bender has popped in. He says, hello, how's everyone doing? My state's been in the news and shit's a little fucked, lol. So is mine. I'm in Virginia. Not quite as bad as yours if you're where it all started, but here's to staying safe and staying the fuck out of that shit.
Here.
We are now discussing favorite childhood toys, though I think we're moving off of that topic into whatever falls out of our mouths next. We got about 9 minutes left before we wrap this up. It was something I wanted you guys to stay after the show for, but I can't. Oh, that story, if you want to hear it. My rant. That's what it was. It's,
I'm telling you, that Fisher Price castle,
Uh-huh.
I have all my Star Wars toys in that sucker. Still have it. It's in, like, it was one of the best toys, and I was chatting with some parents from school, and they admitted they still have that.
My sister had the Malibu Barbie beach house that was the 2 levels and the slide and came with like the Porsche convertible. And me and my action figures
Thank
would
you, Ed.
try very frequently take it over and turn it into their secret hideout base. Because it had like an internal elevator and all kinds of things. So like, you know.
My mother had an old doll
The Power Rangers and Johnny Quest and let's see, one of the not Optimus Prime. Oh, who was it? I had a couple of Transformers. One of the Beast Wars Transformers ones. He was on the action team. Very random. Iceman. I had an Iceman action figure. It's on the
I always mixed my toys.
super.
Always. And there was even a dollhouse my mother was getting rid of. And it was simple, 2 rooms on the bottom and kind of the sloped attic thing that we see in Fortnite nowadays. And yeah, that was hours of... And then I had the Toss Across. So the beanbags from Toss Across became furniture where I'd like make little couches and recliners out of them. And there, Han and Leia would hook up.
It made you more imaginative. Yeah. Better than having every single toy for every single purpose,
Well, depends on my day if
Is
I
that a
agree with
meatball?
it.
Sorry, what?
Ask Kevin, is that a meatball? With
It's
eyes?
not a meatball.
Is that your penis?
No nipples.
This is Eric.
E. coli? No.
I,
Yes.
E. coli.
Yes. Eric
Coli.
the E. coli. One of my favorite toys ever. It's the kind of disturbed birthday gift I get from my wife. It's a 1 million times life-size stuffed E. coli bacteria.
Well, let me ask
I
you
wonder if
this.
they're gonna make
Although-
coronavirus.
The bright side of that story is that on the same day my wife gave me E. coli, our former housemate Rachel, who lived here at the time, gave her boyfriend AIDS.
Okay.
Herpes is really cute too.
He's quite cute, yeah, in a kind of disturbing sort of tendrily way.
So let's do this. If you guys saw a toy at a yard sale or whatever, still in reasonable to good condition from your past, what toys would make you go, I'm bringing that home?
Snoopy snow cone machine.
oh.
I had one of those.
The rest of you, any toys you'd still pick up?
the original Star Wars battleship with sounds and all, the electronic one with all that, it was like super huge because I had one. No one ever wanted to play with, and I got rid of it, years ago at this point. But I would totally get that again.
What about you, Ed?
Like one of the.
Go ahead, Kev.
Um,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just, you had the same thing in the US, but I can't remember what the company's name over there was. But here it was called Meccano. The old-fashioned construction sets where you used to have like metal strips with the holes through, and these days you get like an erector set. Yeah. These days they're a lot more clipped together though. The old-fashioned Meccano ones you used to get when I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s. Where the proper old-fashioned ones came with a miniature set of proper tools, proper screwdrivers, spanners, real nuts, bolts, and you literally, it was like a miniature building kit rather than a toy. They were amazing, the detail, the amount of different parts and fixings and stuff that were in one of the enormous kits. I'd love something like that. Because it's like an old-fashioned version of Lego. You had so much variety, you could almost build anything your imagination could come up with.
What about you, Ed?
And
I'd have a hard time narrowing it down to one. I mean, it happens to me now at yard sales and so forth and so on. I want that. I had that when I was a kid. I want that. I want that too. I had that when I was a kid. So I don't buy anything. So because it would get out of hand really, really fast.
Buy nothing or buy all of the things. Yeah.
What about you, Elizabeth? Anything you'd pick up in a yard sale, whether you had it or not?
Yeah. Pick up an automatic card shuffler, the one you put the two halves and then you turn the wheel and it would shuffle.
Okay.
And
want
who don't know,
I think I have one in the closet.
ever-
I want one.
oh, cards. I'm always up for a card game. Always, always, always. Even if I'm exhausted, I will stay away from the cards just to play. And she taught me that love. We have the table. I'll play poker, but not for money. Not with my face.
Now, it's not a toy I would necessarily pick up.
Cool.
But another toy I had that I used with my Star Wars, it's not an erector set. They were plastic blue girders. And they came with 4 or 6 red brick stylized plates that could interlock. And you can build a building on it out of these girders. And they had plastic sheets that went over the windows. And I used that a lot for Star Wars too, to create different buildings or whatever. And that was something I don't think if I didn't have Star Wars I would have ever touched it. Gary says I still buy wiffle balls and bats. Yeah, that qualifies, man. Absolutely, that qualifies.
Sure.
I tell you what, I would love to play a game of wiffle ball right now. It's kind of like getting a Nerf frisbee. Now, if you guys remember, way back in the mid '70s, Burger King put out foam frisbees that looked like a pickle. And I still remember that, and I must have been 3 years old when I had one, because a neighbor kid, whose name was Brian, by the way, took it and winged that little fucking thing and landed on the goddamn roof, and I was heartbroken. I suspect I didn't have a lot of toys. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up now. I want to thank everybody for joining us and hanging out. We are out of here. You guys have a great night. Let's get us some closing...
Good night, everyone.
Let's get a closing toast.
Oh.
We're going to do a closing toast first, so we can drink some more, right?
More wine, more wine.
There we go. I will dance like your personal entertainment monkey. That's a quote directly from me. There we go. Now some outro music, and we can get the hell out of here.
Thanks for
Night, folks.
the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the
Good
show
night,
what
everyone.
it is. Don't forget to join us at the Tavern next week. Until then, have fun,
Mr. Pickles.
keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
We'll get Mr. Pickles together with Chris's monkey and E. coli.
That is Farmer Bickles to you, sir.
My bad. Good night, everyone.
Crazy thing